Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. It is Wednesday. That means this week's episode of Thursday Flipping, the Thursday Flipping guide for this week is what we need to cover today. Looking ahead into the possible Thursday Flipping investments that we can make this week with the second week of the Scream promo and with the first batch of Scream cards coming back into packs sometime over this weekend. I want to talk about that a little bit. I want to talk about the possibility of people also saving their packs and not open them right away, but also talking about our general rewards investing time period and maybe a secondary period as well, depending on what happens with like Ultimate Scream and like with the timing of the panic selling and what kind of packs that they put out and stuff like that. So I want to talk about a few things in regards to timing of your sales this week. But again, Thursday Flipping, basically what it is we buy cards Wednesday evening after 6 p.m. UK, depending on if there's pack supply or not. A couple hours before rewards is a great time to be looking out on the market, or like midnight UK time if you're up that late. Especially it's easier here in the US because that's a great time zone and time period for us. But basically what we've been looking at in the past couple weeks is we've been looking at the team of the week, what links, investments we could have to that. And then of course last week we looked at the Scream cards and we were like, okay, people are going to want to buy cards that link with these Screams. So this week what I've seen is some of those Scream cards have stayed definitely a little bit higher after they have gone out of packs. The ones we talked about last week, Bernard, I think, is still somewhere around like 210, 205,000 coins, somewhere in that range. He is going to be going back into packs, though, in a couple days, so that's a little bit of a risk that you might play if you want to buy this card before rewards. When it comes to Scream cards, any Scream cards, I'm going to tell you guys to hold off on buying these until later in the weekend because the last couple days of Scream, maybe with both teams in packs, they throw out the first lightning rounds of the year. They're at least going to throw out more promo packs. And I know that people are actually starting to talk about saving their weekend league rewards for Thursday, Halloween Day, when the first team is supposed to go back into packs. EA has made it clear that the first set of Scream cards with Bernard, Otamendi, James Rodriguez, Zlatan, and Dele Alli, that set of Scream cards is going to be re-entering the game on Halloween. Now they said Halloween through the rest of the event, which is a little bit... it doesn't really tell us everything about that because does Halloween mean that it's going to be on Thursday, the actual day of Halloween? Does it mean they're going to come back into packs Friday for the weekend? I think they're going to be in packs Thursday until the end of the promotion, which is Sunday at 6 p.m. UK, based on when the second team goes out of packs. So the second team right here in packs, 4 days, 14 hours, that is Sunday at 6 p.m. UK when that ends. So I think this first set of Scream team will come back into packs on Thursday, and they will go out of packs at that same time. But stuff that we can buy this week, again, this week's flipping period, we're going to be buying on Wednesday night, and we're going to be selling Thursday before 6 p.m. UK. The big key here is to sell in that time period. It's a very small window. This is not like very super easy investing that you can do to hold a card in your club for a while. This is a small window that you're going to have to take advantage of, buying Wednesday night before rewards and selling like 6 hours after rewards before 6 p.m. UK, because that's when we could get more SBCs and more content that could drop some card prices on the market. And that's why I want to look at a second investing opportunity as well later this weekend. So if we look at these, this week's team of the week obviously isn't out when I'm recording this video, so I won't spend a lot of time, but we always look at the upcoming team of the week prediction that's going to come out Wednesday, and some possible cards that could link to these cards that people would be getting read this week that could be decent investments. Henderson with his goal against Spurs, that's a possible inform card. I don't know if a lot of people would use that card. I'm going to be totally honest with you, because that card's stats right there as it looks is definitely not as good as Doucouré, Ndidi, or Wijnaldum. With the 67 pace and just the all-around stats are just okay on that card. I don't think you're going to see as many people using that card, so I don't want to link investment in that. Jamie Vardy is an interesting link investment for me, a Premier League striker in form. I expect that in form to be a decent amount of coins. I mean, if you think of Marcus Rashford, obviously he has the 5-star skills, but Rashford's card was 90,000 coins right away at the beginning of FIFA. I would expect this inform to be probably first day a little around 100K and then dip down below that at some point. Obviously, the Pulisic inform this week, maybe an inform investment to that being Tammy Abraham, but that's not going to make it into a lot of people's teams. This team of the week honestly does not look very good. So when we're looking at investments this week, unless Mbappe gets in, which even if Mbappe does get in, it's going to be a very expensive card, and you're not going to really buy cards to link to him because not as many people, that's not going to be a good weekend league investment because not as many people can afford Mbappe or afford him in a team with other very meta cards. So the stuff that we like to focus on for weekend league flipping is stuff that is very buyable and is very common, and we see it in a lot of people's teams. And what do we see in a lot of people's teams? Well, we can go over here to Flippin' again and click on the most popular players in foot. This is a little page that we can click on, drop down of players, go to popular. These are some of the most searched players on FIFA at the moment right now. And I like a lot of these guys. Aubameyang, I like him, and I think he's high up here right now because he's got the link to that new Scream Ozil card, who I think a lot of people are going out and doing to get an untradeable German center attacking mid. Ozil card, a lot of people like him. They like that card. And this would be the very easiest link to him at a center attacking mid. Fabinho, very high rated card. Again, I like this for a weekend league flip. Messi's high rated. That's not really a weekend league flip just because he is too high rated. Lucas is probably good. And then you have some special cards in here as well. Griezmann will be out of packs. 9-Golan will be out of packs. I really like this 9-Golan inform out of packs, specifically because it is a position change. I know that makes it harder to get him into a team because you're going to have to do like you're going to have to get creative with how you want to move him around inside of a squad. But I think this card's going to make it into a lot of people's teams. He's one of the best center mids in the Serie A. Great looking card. He always plays well in game and he has the hype. And there are definitely ways that you can link him as well. If you put him at right wing, you could link him to Mertens. You could link him to the new Insigne card. There are plenty of Serie A informs that you could link him to. So I like that card as an investment out of packs that people will move to a center mid position change in game. Looking at some of these other cards just to start off with, I mentioned Fabinho looks good. Doucouré out of packs I think is going to do unbelievable. The French nationality this year is so key between La Liga and between the Premier League. You have Digne, you have Doucouré, and all the guys using Umtiti, Laporte, Varane, Ling Lake, left backs being Ferland Mindy, being Benjamin Mendy, and Roussillon. The French nationality, especially around the back lines this year in FIFA, is huge. Then Sissoko being a very popular card, Dembele being a popular card, Rashford, Mbappe. So a lot of these cards that you see here on this list are going to be the ones that are very good for Thursday flips because they're very popular and they get used a lot. Obviously, you have to be careful with some of these lower rated guys. Let's talk about Ferland Mindy. This guy's price is held up pretty well for the fact that he is an 80 rated card, and we've had so many SBCs that continue to try to push this card's price down, and still he maintains a pretty solid price every week of around 40,000 coins. And last week, look at this jump last week for a Thursday flip. Last week, the market got very low on Wednesday. Look where he went from Wednesday into Friday. He went from 34,000 coins up to 44. He went up 10,000 coins for an 80 rated card that would have gotten packed a ton. So again, even though you think this card kind of like breaks all of what we know a low rated card should do during weekly rewards, people aren't outgrowing this card. People aren't getting rid of this card because there really has yet to be a card that is better than him, that surpasses him in terms of in-game playable value and the links that this guy gets to a lot of people in the game. This is the card that everybody's using at left back. So again, if you see him on Wednesday, let's say tonight they put out a pack SBC and you see this Ferland Mindy card dip down to like 38,000 coins, just under 40K, I see that as a perfect opportunity to try to buy in on this card under 40,000 coins on him, especially for like 38K. This could be a decent weekly flip. It's a little scary, to be honest, still, because the card is so low rated. But that's a card that I think you could beat the supply on just because there's so much demand on a card like that. Looking at another left back in the Premier League, another French left back, not necessarily a Premier League left back, but another French left back, we're looking at Digne's inform. 85 rated. It is Premier League, and that's the huge thing. And this guy links to multiple players that I like going forward that are very popular in people's teams. That is any French guy, to be completely honest, first of all. But he also gets the green links to Doucouré, who I think is very popular. You've seen his card price move a lot this week. That shows to me that he's a popular card. And also Bernard. I think that Bernard is, you saw how much he rose when he went out of packs last week for Weekend League rewards. The man went from 170K. After Weekend League rewards, he was like 210, 215. So that's a huge rise on a card like that. So I could see this Digne card again. I know we have another French left back in Theo Hernandez and a bunch of other gold card French left backs in the game that people use. But this one being from the Prem, being Everton and French, and having an 80 pace. It's a serviceable card. It's a usable card. If you see this guy back under 70,000 coins, let me take a look at his card specifically, at where you would really want to see this card at over on Footbin in terms of a price. It says he's 70K right now. He was 58K in packs, and look at how much he's risen out of packs already. Obviously, today we maybe had a little bit of panic. Yeah, yesterday he was 64K today. Now he's all the way up at 70,000 coins. Monday he was down to 61K. So this card has risen a lot out of packs. Wait until we see what we get tomorrow, but I just think this card could continue to rise even more, a little bit, maybe even up to 80K. Is that stretching it for this card? Maybe a little bit, but I think it's very possible for the Premier League links and for the Bernard links that a lot of people are going to use this card for. So if you see him get down to the middle 60s again, try to get some on bid. That's going to be a great shout for an inform that's out of packs. And again, I mentioned this card already. I think Doucouré as a Weekend League investment will be great as well. He's going to be going out of packs. Yes, he is 84 rated, so that means a lot of people have had the chance to pack his card over this week. And a lot of people have this card as a red, but his demand seems to be unwavered. I mean, this guy still has gone up from around 36,000 coins in midweek all the way up to 44K right now. And with the Shadow Chem style, you can honestly get around over 50K for this card on the market. Let me see if he's back over 50K with a Shadow. 52K. Yeah, so he's around 51,000 coins with a Shadow. So when you're also trading for Weekend League flips, if you can find these cards at a low price with a Shadow, with a Hunter, with a very good chem style on them, or a position change, that's something that can be big time when people are buying their Weekend League teams, because people will pay the extra buck for the chem styles. Kind of like what we do with chem style trading, but with a Weekend League flip. So I like Doucouré out of packs as well. Let's move into some gold cards. To be honest, the gold cards that have moved every week are going to move again this week. Clement Lenglet, literally the most popular center back in the game. I'm going to say it. I think he's the most popular center back in the game. Him and Varane, partnership in the back. Gets the link to Ter Stegen, one of the most popular goalkeepers in the game, and he's French, so he gets tons of links. 120K right now. Let's go back to Flipin and check his price. I know that on Sunday night this card was around 110,000 coins. You could pick him up then. 108, yeah, it looks like the past 2 weeks he's gone 111 on Wednesday to 126. Last week, 108 to 124. This week he was 110. He's now up to 120 already now. But I could definitely see this card going back up to 130 even by the time we hit Thursday after rewards. So this is a card that's going to go up again a lot on Thursday. So just watch this card today, Wednesday, as we do see possibly an SBC coming onto the game. Maybe EA puts out an SBC, some more promo packs, or honestly just the sell-off on the hype before Weekend League rewards on a Wednesday night. I like that Ling Lake card. Now I want to talk about a couple attackers. Lacazette. Last week I picked a couple of him up at rewards. I picked him up on Thursday night, I think for around like 75K is where I picked him up last Thursday. And I got to show you guys this graph, because the graph might not do him justice, but I was watching this card very closely last week. This card went flying last week. I picked him up pretty cheap, and I was rewarded big time on this card. I remember picking up a few of his cards. It says 77,000 coins, but he was definitely lower than that. On Wednesday night when I was buying this card last week, I bought a few for 73, 74K. And I thought, yeah, he'll probably go to maybe like lower 80s, because the Weekend League flips before that had just been okay. The man went all the way up to like 90,000 coins, as you see right here. Friday, 90,000 coins is what this card went up to. So I think this card, again, has the great potential this week to be a great weekend league investment. Basically, if it's French, if it's above 85 rated, if it's a popular card that people are using, I'm for it. I'm literally for it. Fabinho, I like that card as well. He moves every week. Ousmane Dembele is like one of the most used cards in this game as well. I think he's somewhere around 40K. Somewhere around 40K. So this could be a flip as well. You maybe pick him up later in the evening on Wednesday, 44K. Maybe you see him at around 40K flat. He could probably go to 50K this weekend as well. Another very popular card that I like. So yeah, that's kind of the stuff that I wanted to look at for weekly rewards. Those are some good investments that I like personally. Scream cards, again, I'm going to wait until the end of the weekend for those since they're going to be in packs all weekend with SBC supply and stuff like that. And again, I want to talk about people holding their weekend league rewards. I have talked to some people, and a lot of people are under the impression, we got a sale by the way, a lot of people are under the impression that they want to save their rewards for when both Scream teams are in packs. Because let's say if you open your rewards at, 8 a.m. UK time when they come out, 9 a.m. UK when the FUT Champs and Weekend League rewards are out, and Div Rivals. Let's say that those new cards come into packs at 6 p.m. UK. The Scream Team 1 comes back into packs. Let's just say it happens that way. You're going to have a lot of people that will save up their packs until then. That's why I'm saying for you guys, I think there's going to be a rise in the market between Weekend League rewards release and when the content drops at 6 p.m. UK. Then, if that's when the Scream Team from set 1 is put back into packs, you might see another dip in the market as people who saved their rewards go out and open them all at the same time. So you might see some influx of icons on the market, 59th minute snipes, some Team of the Week cards from the new Team of the Week, of course the Scream items that are now in packs, and the gold cards. So it might be an opportunity to double dip this weekend with rewards, depending on how many people save their rewards. If you start seeing a lot of stuff on Twitter, a lot of people start, I'm probably going to put a poll out on Twitter, will you be saving your rewards? And I'll be asking people, hey, is this something you're going to do so we can get a good idea of this? So check my Twitter for that. I'll put that out on Wednesday, today. That's going to give us a good idea of if that could happen. Again, if you start to see a lot of buildup and a lot of people talking about that, I would expect that to happen. But I still think a lot of people won't remember, or they won't know, or they'll just open up the rewards when they see them and be like, oh, sweet, rewards. So they'll open them up when the first Scream Team is not in packs yet, and we'll see that normal rise in the market. But again, a lot of the stuff that you want to buy, like Lacazette, for example, if you see him back down here at the mid-70s, 75,000 coins, maybe even lower than that, that's a great buy for me. Again, the first sell time is going to be that early time before 6 p.m. UK on Thursday, the quick flips and stuff like that. But again, for the stuff that I think is going to rise this week, keep it simple. The stuff that has risen in weeks past is going to be the stuff that is going to rise this week, because there's literally not a lot new that happened on the game this week. There's not many new cards, not a great looking Team of the Week. French, Brazilian, Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga. That's the stuff that has been rising. That's the stuff that has been in the hype, and those are the popular players on this game at the moment. So stick to the basics, stick to what you know is good. If you have other questions about cards that you're thinking about looking at for Thursday flips, get on Futbin. Check it out. Does the market show, or does the graph show that their card moved last week? And again, make sure you're just careful with those cards that are on a lower value. If they're a lower rated card, but still a high value, they're going to get packed a lot, so just watch that kind of situation with those cards as well. So that's what I think for Thursday flipping this week. Again, I think the same time frame applies. Basically, it takes a safe route. Buy Wednesday night, sell Thursday before 6 p.m. UK, and then you're liquid and you're ready for whatever happens with the rest of the Scream promo on the weekend. Get your weekly teams as well. If you want to buy those, I would buy those before the weekend as well. Unless it contains a Scream card, then you maybe want to wait later for that. But again, just number one, make sure to remind yourself to have fun. If you lose a few coins along the way, it's going to be okay, all right? I'm just trying to help you guys understand the weekly shapes and shifts of the market, and how to be the smartest with your coins in terms of making coins and buying your players for the right price. But if you enjoyed today's video, smash a thumbs up on it if it helped you out at all. I would greatly appreciate knowing that. Drop a comment down below if it did help you or if you have any other questions. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It's been Nate, the Foot Accountant. Catch you guys later. Peace out.